Hi everyone, it's Chloe from APapercraftMenagerie, and today we are going to finish the signatures on our tall slender journal. So we are 2/3 of the way through the second one, so let's get that one done. So I am going to use this piece, and I think what I'm going to do is I will cut it the right length, which is 9 inches tall, and then I'm going to fold in the pages and attach this folder to make gates on both sides. It may not be the centerpiece, but we'll figure that out. So I will just double check that 9 inches is the correct measurement. It's been a little while since I've worked on this one, so I just want to double check. Been working on a couple of others and didn't want to get their measurements instead. Yeah, so that one is indeed 9. So we will cut that at 9. And I believe the width is 4 inches and 7. Let me just double check. Yes, so there. So about 4 1/4 we were doing. So we'll fold that, or mark it to fold. 2, 3, 4. I'll come just slightly in from 1/4. Now I'll just mark them slightly, and of course I forgot my bone folder. There we go. Mark that, and I will put these ones on the inside, I think. So we'll fold these back in. Not marked very well, I'll just fold it this way so it marks a bit better. I don't lose the fold. And make sure it is square. And same with this side. There we go. And so with these folders, I think I'll glue them on first, and then I was thinking of putting like just paper on it. I was thinking just a bit of book page on this one, and then the coffee dyed paper on this one to make a bit of writing space. So that one doesn't actually need any cutting. And this one does. I think he's going to be long enough just. Sounds like everyone is, all the birds are twittering today for us. At least the dogs aren't barking. They just finished playing while I was setting up. I told them they could play until I started filming. That if they could have a nap, I would appreciate it. Sounds like they took me at it, so. Took me at my word. They're good dogs. We just had some visitors this weekend, and the littlest puppy is still pretty exhausted. They're all pretty exhausted, but him especially. He had a lot of fun. So I'm just gluing the thicker folder onto the outside. So then it'll go like that, and then we can cover it up with a bit of paper. You could still cover it from the outside, but I'm just more of a fan of an inside spine like that, inside attachment like that. I tend to do it for a lot of my works. There we go, glued. I'm just using the glue stick for this one. I think it'll be strong enough, especially because we'll be putting a bit of book page over it to strengthen it again, to hold it down even more. Or actually copy paper on the inside. I think that'll work great. And then we will maybe cut some of the page we need for the coffee page. This one's got a tear in it, but once you glue it down, it won't be noticeable, and if it is, it's perfectly all right, really. So we will cut this one to the length of the fold. It's just under 4, so we'll cut it to just under 4. Make sure he's lined up properly. And just under 4. And to 9. The goose has been extra cheeky. It's breeding season here for the geese. So not only has she been cheeky, but the outside flock has also been cheeky. A couple of bruises on the back of my legs from the boys. They're usually very good boys, but breeding season hits and even the best geese turn into monsters. But yes, Darby has been extra cheeky. She's been pulling a lot more papers down off the table than usual. She has been getting into everything, and she even chose one of our visitors as our partner this weekend. She is imprinted on people, so she has no real, I guess all of her natural instincts are kind of messed up a little, and so she chose another human the first time she bred in her 2nd year, and then she actually chose one of the dogs in her 3rd year, and this will be her 4th year of 4th year of life, but 3rd year breeding. And yeah, she chose another human, but because I'd warned them that she might and told them, you know, not to do any of the receptive behaviours, I'm hoping that she will move back onto a dog, because it's a little easier to manage when she's chasing after a dog. The dogs, you know, don't really care that much, where if she's after a person it can get a little tricky. So this should hopefully cover the whole thing, but if not, I don't really mind a little bit peeking out. I don't think it will look too bad to have a little bit of a yellow border, and we can also use a bit of ink to cover it up if need be, but I don't mind that really. Make sure we get the same side just in case it's in the middle. And I want it to match a little. I do like matching centre pages. Doesn't have to. If it's not the way it falls, then, you know, it doesn't have to, but I do like that look. And we will glue this sheet on. And that should be our 2 inside pieces. There we go. Open up like that, form 2 writing spaces. Alright, and we'll do these other sides. So I was thinking dictionary page for these ones, but I'm not sure if the dictionary is tall enough. Oh no, it is. Yep, we're fine. We're absolutely fine. To make this easy on myself, I might leave it folded like this, and that way I don't have to measure twice. I can just measure once and cut. And we want it was just under 4 this way. Where did I put my knife there? I changed tables. My table is heaps bigger now, so I can fit all my tools on it. But the disadvantage of that is that all the tools fit on it. And so I have to look through all of the tools instead of just the couple that I can fit on my desk to find what I need now. Not that I can complain too much. It is worth the extra space, having that problem. Little less extra walking space in the room, but again, it's worth it. And it's tall enough to have a nice dog bed under it as well. So my old girl gets to sit beneath my feet while I craft now, which I've always enjoyed, but she never fit under the little blue one, the little blue table I had. So I think we're both happy with this now. So let's set it up as it would look on the in the book. I'm just going to double check that fits in the book because that looks a little wide. No, that's perfect. I just must be used to working on one of the little more slender books I'm working on. So when you open it up, it would look like that. Or we could flip it and have it look like that. Oh, that one's a bit small, but that's fine. Both a bit smaller, that's fine. I think I prefer it like this. So flip it around. And again, I'll just use the glue stick. My other glue is running a bit low and it's very fiddly. I trust that glue a little more, but when it's thin paper on paper, the glue stick usually manages to do its job pretty well. Use the bone folder to smooth this out. That's the problem with thin pages. It can take a bit to get it smooth. I think there's one poking up. There we go. And I'll do this one. Turn that around. So hopefully we might get to sewing in the signatures this week as well. Just depends how fast I am. I'll have to check the time after I finished gluing and after I finished creating signatures, and we'll see if we've got time for it. If not, I'd say that'll be next week's video, and hopefully we can finish the book. Just depends what we're going to fill it with, I guess. Fill all those little pockets that we've put in there. So this is our page. What I might do is just do a little thumb hole there, because once it's folded in the signature, that's going to be a very small space, I think. So half of 9 is 4.5. And we will trim a thumb hole there. And trim a thumb hole there. I think that'll make things a little easier when it's folded up in a signature and it, has a little bit of bulk. You can hook your thumb in a little easier, I think. I like that one, so we'll put that one up there. Next thing I was thinking was actually I might leave that side. I was going to trim that down straight, but I think I'll leave it a little bit, it's not too bad, so I think we'll leave it like that. That's right, I was going to use the that set of cards that I showed you when we first started doing the signatures as a pocket. So I will put it around the page. I'll probably do a thumb hole and we'll glue it there on both sides, and then that gives us 2 pockets. I will just cut this one down to 9. What's up, Goose? Darby, what's up? You okay? Just crap me. Okay, so it's down to 9, and we'll do the thumb holes first. It's 4.5, so 2 and a bit. Again, doesn't have to be precisely in the middle, which is the advantage of junk journals, but close. It always looks good enough. So I will glue the sides if the glue decides to come out. We might be here a minute. I should have got out the new glue. Might be quicker if I do. Oh, sorry, Val. Brush past the dog a little too hard, and I will just open it up. All right. And we will put glue on both sides and the bottom. Excuse me 1 second. Darby? No. No. Thank you. That's not yours. Sorry about that. The goose stole a letter off one of the other desks. Like I said, she's in a rat bag mood. Full force of rat baggery has been afoot this last week about. There we go. So finished gluing that. That's the good thing about this glue, is that you can let it sit long enough to go and rescue a letter from a goose, and it will still glue down your card when you come back. So just put him right in the middle, right on the bottom, sorry. And there we go. Sure is glued on. There we go, and that will be our final page for the signature. I might let that dry, and we'll do sort the signature after I've done the last signatures pages. So I thought for this one that I might do some more punch outs. This one is shorter than 9 and slightly too long, so we will have to cut it down to just under 4.25. And then maybe we'll do one side here and one side here. I'm not sure. This one will do, yeah, if I measure it up right here. There we go. And one. And then we will do down this side. There we go. So we'll call that one done. And clean up the mess. And of course my paper scrap bucket's on the other side of the table. There we go. And then this one I was going to punch out as well, but I think we'll use the corner punch on this one. I'll just cut it down to size and use the corner punch. And a quarter. Sounds like that goose has given up. Going back to its food bowl. Hopefully not planning any more nonsense. I don't know if you heard that, but it was a little no. Which makes me think that yes, she is planning nonsense. Hopefully after I've finished filming. I'm not sure if any of you follow me on Instagram as well, but I do post some stuff about Darby over on Instagram. So if you would like to actually meet the said naughty goose, I do have a couple of videos and photos of her over on Instagram. And you can meet her, meet the rat bag. She is usually a pretty good goose. But they are like little miniature toddlers. Well, actually, they are toddler size, so maybe even not miniature toddlers, they're toddlers. They're perpetually in that puppy stage where they get into everything. Not the ideal house pet, but she came to us, so I wonder if we do the corner punch there, if that's going to be a problem. Let's give it a try, and if I don't like it, we'll pull out a different bit of paper and we won't do it again. Oh, that moved. It's easier to use the dominant hand on it. There we go. Oh, good. So I'll just make sure. Might be a bit weak there, but I don't think that'll be a problem as long as we come down far enough with the thread for the when we're sewing in the signatures. I think that'll be fine. All right, and for the third page of the last signature, I was thinking of doing one of the pockets, folding up the pockets. So we will measure 9 and fold it up. There we go. Does it need thumb holes? Yes, that'll be thumb holes. So I will fold it in half this way, and I remember that these pages were small enough. And then we can punch out so they match. There. hopefully the punch won't chew it up, but it did it well. All right, and then we can refold these. Try and make sure it's square. And we will glue here. Might just glue here, because that'll be held together when you sew it in, unless it's a middle one, and then in that case it can be a double pocket. Gives it a bit more room for slightly thicker things. You can't put anything across the line, obviously, because it won't fold, or could, as long as you're happy with it to fold. But just gives it that little bit more room than if you'd glued that down as well. There we go. So third one, flying through this last one, and the fourth one, we will use the coffee dyed paper again, and I will do a flip like I think we did in the second signature we did. Fold it in half, and I will trim it down to 9. So yes, because spring is hitting everyone here, all of the birds especially are extra loud, and most of the mammals on the farm are getting pretty antsy as well, but they're a little more silent than the birds. Birds create a lot of fuss, and I think we'll use the card as a flip for this one. So I will trim it down to, this one is just over 4, so we'll trim this just a straight 4 to make it a little easier. And then trim the, sorry, I was just going to do the front cover and have a flip up, but I wonder if we can't put the flip on the back so that you can flip it out like that, but you can also flip it up like that. I think we might do that. So we'll need something pretty strong there. I think we've still got a little bit of that card. We do. It's got a natural fold in it there. We will use that to our advantage. Or a pre-made fold in it, I should say. And we will use that as the attachment. Now, do we want to ink that up? I don't think we'll ink it up yet, but we might ink it up when we do our final check to make sure we're happy with what the pages look like. So we will stick that on back there. There we go. And then stick that part here. And I'll pull it away from the spine a little, especially now that it's a little thicker. So it was very lucky we cut it that little bit shorter at the exactly 4, just to give it a bit of room for that spine to fold over. And so now it can be opened up like that, and it can also be opened up like that. There we go. So we will use that for 5th sheet, and our final sheet. This one will need a bit of a trim. That one is a bit, the edge of the page is a bit messy for me. I'm sure there's plenty of people that wouldn't mind that little bit of a messiness, but I can't quite handle that messy. There we go. And I'll fold that in half. And I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure that will be under the 4 3/4 mark. Yeah. And then we will figure out where we want to cut it from the top. And I will cut it to 9. Oh, I didn't explain what we're doing for this one. So this one I'm going to do a little kind of pull-out journal spot, I guess we'll call it. I'm not sure how to explain it. We'll call it a pull-out journal spot. So I'm going to do it on the inside. We might do it on... And we've got something on that side, so we will do it on this side. And I'll just use a bit of tape on that one, just to strengthen that little bit up. And so I've got just another coffee dye bit of paper, and what I'm going to do is measure it to 8 by 8. Cut it to 8 by 8, sorry. It's already pretty close to 8 that way, so we will... No, I will need to trim it because it has to be an exact square. It does have to be an exact square for this fold, yes. So we'll trim it to exactly 8 by 8, or at least equal. You can't do exactly 8 by 8. Just make it square. Sorry, I'm just making sure all my paper's away from the edge of the table. I could hear someone coming over. Alright, so first step is to fold it in a triangle that way, and then fold it in a triangle the opposite way. So this folded that way, and then we're going to fold this one this way. And then from there, no, I've messed up. So, yes. And then from there we fold it in half that way. And then using that, no, I did mess that up. Okay, so it isn't these folds, it isn't the triangle folds that are opposite. The triangle folds go the same way. It is then the rectangle fold that goes the opposite way, yes. And then to fold it, you get one of these lines. No, we need both. Sorry, I should have rewatched how to do this fold. I thought, oh no, I'll remember. I've done it so many times. But no. Okay, so fold it into triangles one way, and then fold it into rectangles the other way. And then you will pull 2 pieces together like that. Two of the triangle pieces together, like that, and the same on the other side. And then sorry guys, it's coming. Can be a little bit to manage. Usually I am doing this on smaller bits of paper as well. There we go. Okay, let's finally folded. Okay, so what you do is you fold 2 of these points up like that, and then they meet like that. And then what we'll do is we'll glue it down on just the back side here, and then you can pull this one and it folds out into a big square. Yes, there we go. I got this idea from Pam at the Paper Outpost. I can't tell you what video it is, and I can't tell you what she called it, but it should be on there somewhere. There we go. So it gives a little bit of extra journaling space and a nice little interactiveness to the journal. I will glue this one in with the good glue, just because obviously it's going to have a little bit of weight on it with the pulling it out all the time. So you just want to make sure that it sticks in there well. And stick it up in the top corner here, out of the way of the spine. There we go. And I'll unfold it, pat it down, just to make sure it's all glued on. There we go. And so that gives extra writing space there, and also on this side as well. And so that will be our final page for the last signature. So let's sort out our signatures, and I'll have a look at the time and see if I think I've got time to show you how to sort in. So this was what we had already for the second signature, and I'll just check. It looks like these 2 pages are pretty big, so I might choose one of those for the outside. Maybe this one would do for the outside. And then we might put that one as the second one. Yes, I think I like that. Yeah. Yep. Although these 2 are the same, so let's pull this one out. And oh yes, because this is the one we were going to turn into the center one anyway. And we will put that one between these 2. There we go. So I will make that one our final signature, I think, and the first signature we did the second one within the book, and then this one will likely be our first. We'll choose a nice sturdy page for the outside, probably maybe this one. We'll choose this one. Then put in that one, put in this one, this one, and that one. There we go. Okay, so that one is our biggest one, so it is going to have to go on the outside. That is why I'm having problems. I've been trying to open from the spine. I guess that's a disadvantage to doing the punch out on both sides. And is this one going to be a little long? Let me just put that one back in. No, it's not particularly any longer than any of the others. I think that'll work fine. I don't think that'll poke out too much. All right, Let me just double check how long we've been filming for. We'd only have 5 minutes left, so I don't think I can sew that in. So we will leave that there today, and then next week we will sew in the signatures. I am going to do sew them directly into the book, but we could have done a hidden spine, but I think I'd prefer to sew it directly into here. I think it will look better for this one. All right, so we'll do that next week. All right, thanks guys, bye.